Hello. Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi. Good. Sorry, I was a bit late on this stream this week. Super busy with work, so you know it is.
It's all,
You just set an
it's
alarm.
all good.
But
Yeah,
yeah, so been
just,
looking
Australia's
through.
dealing with some stuff. So it's good.
God, COVID situation and work and everything, but it's all good. Keeping positive and keeping on top of it. So yeah, get there.
Very cool.
Yeah. So but have a look at some entries, some really wicked ones. Really excited about the magic potion one. Actually, I'll just pull them all
Yeah,
up.
we're gonna do two of them this today because we just because we're behind. So this one is from a couple entries ago. So we're
Mhm.
gonna do the magic potion one to play catch up.
All right, let's
Uh,
do this.
that one's awesome. I like that one. If anything, it's just the colors just pop out like that orange, the purple, the green. Just feels like it's got those very like spooky, fun Halloweenish ones too in it. Just nails that. The colors right off the bat nail that to me.
It's so cute. I just want to see it animated and moving. I love it.
I do too. Yeah, like the little bubbles are going boop,
I
and stirring it.
know, I know. Like these eyes are just, yeah, I love it. So good background, like a good breakdown to see how all the post effects were created and things like that. How it was done in Substance Painter. So
Yeah, I like it a lot.
nice, nice,
Broken down nicely.
and good use of concept art as well. Because I think the hardest part of creating a character like this is just creating that design and getting it. Well, yeah, a design just takes ages, right? So where you can, if you can get permission to use some concept art, it's a great idea. Yeah, good work for that. Yeah. And I think it's
Oh,
replicated.
especially seeing like a stylized 2D character and actually making it into 3D. That's always a tough transition. So
Yeah,
well.
it's pretty good. Being able to translate that and then also being able to superimpose some extra details in the skin and the slime. I think it's well done. So no immediate feedback. I think mainly in the pot. Like the skin is beautiful. I wouldn't change that at all. But I think definitely this pot, some of the details seem a little bit low quality, a little bit too specky as well.
Yeah.
You could probably reduce some of these specular highlights a little bit. It's a little bit much.
Yeah, that's the honestly my only critique on this piece is the pot. I think it's I can see the details look like they need to be scaled a little more, and the reflectivity needs to be like pushed down and just mess up the
Mm.
rough a little bit. Just feels like it's too very polished. It'd be fun to see some of that green liquid pouring over the side.
Pouring down and stuff, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a bit distracting. You sort of want to go and look at these beautiful eyes and the beautiful skin, but your eyes are sort of drawn a little bit to some of this reflection.
exactly.
So, um, other than that, I think it's a solid piece. So well done. Gosh,
Yep.
it's stunning. All right, so let's go to the next one. Another great piece. Let's have a look.
Yeah, I mean, great details, great modeling. The second render looks better than the first one, to be honest. It just I
Mm,
like that one, but I feel like actually no, the first one's good. I want it to be not as dark, I guess. Or
yeah,
if that one is lit up, maybe there is like a more of a purplish light illuminating it. It looks better like that on its own without being kind of like present like that looks great on its own like that. Maybe
mm,
fun if the liquid was a little bit luminescent, had a little bit of a glow to it. That'd be kind of
yeah,
fun. It looks like
yeah. That
it's
would have been
trying
cool.
to do that right there, but no, I think it's really well done. A lot of fine details. I really don't have any critiques on this. It would have been nice just to see it be a little bit of wear and tear, just something like that, because it looks just so brand new and clean. I think having a little bit of dust and some debris on, like just some little like kind of like details added, show that it's been used and it's been sitting in place. Maybe
Mm,
it would be kind of a fun piece.
no, I totally agree.
Yeah, it's there. It's just missing a little character.
And in terms of just technicality, I think it feels like the glass has been textured without like a liquid inside it. I mean, I might be wrong, but it doesn't, it looks like this sort of liquid has just been, yeah, like textured on the outside of the glass, maybe, I'm not sure, but it doesn't look like, I don't know whether this is a technical issue or just an approach issue, but this top part of the glass is not see-through. So I would imagine that if you did have a black glass, that black glass would be, or like this purple wouldn't be so bright, if that makes sense. Like it would be toned down by the black of the glass. So this bright see-through nature of this potion tells me that the glass is a clear glass, but that doesn't make sense up here. So just a technical issue, I think, with the glass shading up here. And some of this metal, these dark black lines are giving it a very cartoony sort of feel. So drop the contrast in some of this detail here because it is taking away from some of that photorealism. If you just dropped it by 50% or something, I think it would just help sell it because some of these details are just a little bit too contrasty around the snake. So that's my immediate sort of feedback.
Yeah, no, that's some good feedback. I agree.
Cool. Another great piece. Beautiful presentation.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, he always does such a good job. My only thing with this one is just the lighting just makes it look like don't make the light so dark. The shadow is so contrasty, and I feel like that'd be a stronger piece. It's just so contrast. I feel like the levels have been crunched on it. So that's my only feedback on that. It's just that.
It's always fun, like, to play with lighting like this. Like, I mean, admittedly, I've done pieces where you do like contrasty lighting to sort of help hide some of the details in the background or details that you don't want to see. I have worked that before, but I wonder if that's something you could do maybe in comp as well, not necessarily just with the lighting here, and also maybe some defocus as well. Because
exactly. It's on the table and the elements, not the background.
Yeah, so like combining a bit of defocus with that darkness would help a little bit because I imagine that, for example, this fireplace and stuff in the background would not be in focus in like a photo like this, and especially this background. So if you are using it as a technique to sort of hide some of that, try some defocus as well. And yeah, lift this ambient light a little bit. So I mean, it shouldn't dip to black whatsoever. I think it should still have a little bit of like background that you can still see. And that will help it, like some of these dark shadows as well. So, but it's a great work. Like there's a lot of effort gone into this, a lot of different elements and things like that. So keep working, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. I would say like all the way the models are and the textures are, I'm a fan of it. My thing is just the lighting and compositing of it. I think just kind of makes the focus a little bit hard. Like you don't need to have the background to the walls at all. You could just kept everything on the table.
Nice. All right, let's move on. This one I was really impressed with. I found, let me just go at the start. Yeah, it's like just an overall scene. This works really nicely, I think. This is actually an example of that. You can still have something really moody with that contrast of the bright magic potion and the dark background. But you can see it doesn't really dip to black. It's still quite lifted. And it's just a softer transition between light and dark. Like you have these beautiful glowy elements, but they all just sort of tie in together really nicely. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
I mean, like you nailed it on the head. That shows you that you don't actually have to have anything. You can have things be dark without having it be crunched to black. So it's like good volumetrics in there. And you can have a background in a scene while still having some focus on the main potions there, because I feel like that's a good render right there. Just because, I feel like the glass looks good. I like seeing like the different colors of the potions, and the bottles themselves have some interest to them. I might fade out the background or something like that just a little bit more, maybe defocus it, but the potions look great.
Yeah, I'm super stoked with it. Like, I think they're doing a great job. Even some sculpting detail. Good reference I think you mentioned as well, just in the, let's get through it, there was some texture stretching that we saw. So
yeah, just in the window frame, when you get to some of the different angles, you can see it there, but when you get to the angles are kind of like 3/4 views, you can definitely see it inside there. So just be careful with that, like right there.
So just get some supporting edge loops happening in there, because if you have, or even if you have like 2 supporting edge loops and then nothing in the middle, when it sort of divides, it's still going to spread out. So I do find that even if you were to create like a window frame, and even if you did put supporting edge loops in, put some extra edge loops just like in the center. They might not actually do anything to the structure, but what they do is stop that spreading when you do hit smooth, when you go to render. Either that, or just work with a bevel and work with hard shading if it was more aimed like a game asset. But yeah, if you are going to smooth it, you can go a little bit harder with the edge loops to keep that support. But yeah, cool. This one, another beautiful piece.
Yeah, it's a really nice render, really nice presentation.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Now, honestly, this is just stunning. Like the final image, it sort of just like your eye just immediately is drawn towards the potion to look at it. Like all of this is great in itself, like, but it's just, yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's composited well together as well. Like you do have that defocus, you have the beautiful little weather and the specks and the dust, and just this beautiful pattern. I'm loving like this crosshatch detail on it.
There's a lot of good, like the resolution of all the textures on there is really nice. You look at it, you can see like nothing looks like it's low res. It's all consistent and cohesive.
And this pattern, like, it doesn't look photoreal, but I think that's fine. Like, I think it's got this beautiful style to it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm really digging it. I love it.
It's really well done. I'm happy with it.
So obviously, like a substance designer project, fantastic use of it as well. Like that sort of 2D modeling, it up close. Like even like sometimes when you model stuff on Substance Designer up close, you see like the edge artifacts and stuff. But this, it works brilliantly.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked to have seen how you textured the glass and how you textured this guy, because we can see this was all done in Designer, but there's no breakdown as to how this was textured. So whether or not this was actually done comp or whether it was taken into Substance Painter. So I would have liked to have seen how you did it. But despite that, I think it's still a decent enough breakdown for us to understand how you created the majority of it. So I'm really stoked with it.
Yeah. Very well done. I guess like you know what it is? It's I can see like there's like a bluish lighting in the right corner, and then it gets a little bit warmer in the left corner, and it's that little fluorescent pink in the middle of the bulb, or the potion. It just reads really well. I'm a fan of this.
Good work. Super stoked. This one. So let's have a look. So great work. I think you've broken everything down as to how you achieved it. Model itself, I mean, I can see you've done a pretty decent sculpt, which you've maybe baked down into the model or something. I'm not sure, but great details in these little characters and things like that. There we go. Do you think maybe the presentation is a bit dark?
It's dark and the rocks are shiny. I feel like there's like a shine on the rocks and possibly even on the cauldron itself. I would say, and the plants look like the ferns look like they're illuminated or lit up, but nothing around it is. So the lighting is definitely kind of taking away from this one. I think the model and everything like that's fun. Even when you look at the animation, you push play and you see little bubbles going. That's a fun effect. I just think it comes down to like the compositing of it, like the final render, the lighting of it, and then just making sure the rocks aren't so shiny. There's a fun little bubbly effect in that one.
It's cute. It presents itself better here, I think. Like if the pot looks lighter.
Yeah, it's starting to look a little bit lighter there, but still just a touch dark. Maybe even taking the
Yeah.
material itself and not making it so black would help too, because the
Mhm.
light just looks like it's getting absorbed by it.
Yeah. Almost there though. Like I think it's a great work. The rocks definitely feel more like clay, like a wet clay. So just lower the frequency, sorry, increase the frequency of some of these details, or sorry, like add some finer details in there, because when you have soft, mushy details for rocks like that, it does make it sort of look smooth and wet, whereas
Yeah.
rocks in real life do have like another layer of high frequency stuff, which does break up the speck a little bit more and creates more of like a rough look. And yeah, just increase your roughness quite significantly, because that would just help this piece along. No, nice work. Good reference. Cool. One more that we're going to review this week. And it's probably worth mentioning that we haven't reviewed the pieces that did not provide breakdowns. That's how we have picked our finalists from the broader crowd.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, so when we get a lot of submissions, just that another reason why, just make sure you have, just don't submit a image. Make sure you're showing your breakdowns, your reference, all that stuff, because that's going to be, it's kind of hard for us to give any critiques if we don't know what you're working with and how you made it.
that's right. So another nicely done piece, let me just nip down to the piece down here. Like, honestly, like, I think it's quite well. The materials are quite beautiful. I love some of these really fine details on it. It's not overcooked, it's not too strong. It's just enough to sort of make it feel that it's been touched and it's been used, but not overly dirty. So great work with that. Glass and the transmission and things like that is actually it's a really difficult thing to get right, and I think you've nailed it. You've done a great job.
I like the blue color too. Like it's a fun bright blue color.
That's good. It's fun. It's nice. I think it's simple, but it's effective. Matches the reference, so it's like a little wispy thing.
Yeah, really good job.
So it would have been cool if we could have gotten some of that wispy effect to sort of go up into the bottle a bit more, like it's been stuck out.
Like that.
Yeah, I don't know how you would have done that, but see how this is sort of like whoosh up the tube. I think that would have been lovely. But no. And then I think as well the wisp has more of a glow on the inside, hey? So we've done something, maybe the center could have been a bit more glowy, just to sort of draw the eye to the wisp in the middle as like a centerpiece, and then that would have been great as well. No, nice.
Yeah, great work.
All right. So in terms of winners, we were having a chat and we were thinking third place to this one.
Yep.
All right. So a lot of great work here as always. Again, just focus on getting that lighting and getting that final presentation in order. But you have all the elements here for a fantastic piece. So just that final little step to get it from here, like all the way up here. So well done. You have anything to say?
No, I mean, same thing. It just comes down to like the presentation, everything, the lighting, and just making sure things get, like the background here is kind of conflicting with the main area. So you got great assets, but it goes to show you, even if you have great assets, you could still botch it up with just the final composition and lighting of it. So always be careful about that.
Yeah. So second place would like to give to this one.
Yep.
As we said before, stunning presentation, beautiful assets. It was just a real package, so we're really pleased with this one. Fixed those few issues on the textural, and yeah, you got yourself a great asset, so well done. And first place, we have equal first actually, because we couldn't decide between the two. They were both beautiful in their own right. So this one and the Eye of the New. So equal firsts. I think we were trying to sort of go, all right, which one's first, which one's second. But to be honest, we found they were both great in their own right, and there were such different styles that it's hard to pick one over the other without favouring a particular style. So Well done to both of you. You both had a beautiful final image without really much critique for us to give you. So well done.
Yeah, no, very, very nice stuff. Should we check out the 2 entries for the Spider King shield?
So 2 entries for this one. Let's have a look. So which one's the final image? This one? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, solid work. I mean, you have all the solid breakdown.
I think when I'm looking at some of the stuff, it's just the resolution of some of the textures just seem a little low. Specifically, if we can kind of get like if we bumped up the resolution, but also feel like you can add some trim work into there, especially like the concrete or mud trim that's around it. Throw a curvature map or like a cavity map or something on there just to kind of like if I had an AO map and just get some grime, the kind of like the cavity, I think that would go a long way. It's an interesting you're close. I just feel like it feels like it's still flat, like it needs those layers.
It just needs, like you said, everything's a bit flat. I think tighten up these ropes on your model as well, because right now they're sort of flaky. So like there's no contact point between these guys and the actual shield, so it's just like floating around it. So get that on there so you get a hard contact shadow on all of these pieces. And I mean, you might think otherwise, Justin, but like, the materials on here, they don't feel like that's what shields would be made of. Like, I mean, I'm not sure whether this is like a grass or a mud or what this is in particular, but it doesn't feel like a construction material that you would create, like a weapon that would save your life. That doesn't feel sturdy.
Well, it's like maybe even make those the ropes themselves like thicker, like you said, and just make them tight. Like you should feel like that leaf is kind of like bending out a little bit from it. It's putting the pressure on there. Yeah, it's like the mud's like the stuff behind it. Like I would make it feel like it's more wood there, and you can still have like some sticks and stuff sticking out behind the actual leaf itself, but it just feels the thing. It's like kind of like making it feel a little off too. Again, it's that like that concrete muddish, whatever that trim is. It needs like it feels like it's flat. Like it needs like something to like round it out, or even there if you need. It's not necessarily putting a highlight, but it's like so that it has like some like edging to it.
And I feel like these little tiny spots are sort of setting the scale off a bit. Like they look like micro details, like just like a little mouse shield or something. Like it's just that, it's just the scale doesn't seem quite right of that concrete material. Like, it's almost like a gravel, like a pebble gravel. So, but I mean, in saying that, like overall, the presentation's really nice. The composition's quite nice. Just work on those few sort of notes, and I reckon you'd have a solid piece. Nice one.
Yeah.
All right. And his pet.
This one's really fun. I mean, I think it feels like it's not 100% finished, but I could understand that because there's so much detail going on here. It's almost like it's in between. Like, does it want to be real? Does it want to be stylized? The colors look great. I like there's a little bit of kind of like a variation of it. There's some really fun stuff going on here. One thing I would say is kind of that's throwing it on me. The only element that doesn't like stick with me, and it's the pet. I think the spider itself, the colors that are being used for the pet are so contrasting from everything else that it kind of. And I think maybe either you don't use the pet, or if you do keep the pet, have it like have the colors kind of feel like it fits in there, because it's a contrast from everything else that. I don't know. If I'm thinking strategically, strictly like an actual spider, I want to blend with my surroundings. And if what you're making the shield out of is something from your surroundings, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like the focus should probably not be the pet, it should probably be the shield. But like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm loving? I'm loving that it's like a face. You see that? It's like lips and like eyes.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think that's really clever. I was like, am I just seeing things? But no, I reckon that's what it's meant to be.
Maybe. Well, I think it's now I see that I know too. No, I like the composition. I like the idea. Everything that you got going on here is really fun. Um, it's a really clever, well done. The sculpt looks good. I think right now the textures, you just have to kind of like decide, are you leaning more realism or leaning more stylized? So right now the only thing I think is kind of like tripping it is the roughness map. I feel like some parts might have some roughness on it, and not everything around here right now feels like it's kind of like velvet. Like I don't know if there's an SS like a subsurface thing on here, but I don't know. That could just be my eyes.
I'm trying to work out what's the render because this is like concept. This is like a paint over.
Is that one?
I don't know. I'm trying to find the actual substance render here.
Yeah,
that's the render there.
Yeah.
Won't let me open, but yeah. I'm still pretty stoked with it though. I'm pretty happy with it.
They did a really good job. If I'm just saying, the only thing that like wasn't like feeling the most was the spider.
Yeah.
But there's a concept. There's an early drawing that they did where the spider was like orange and had green eyes. Like that one would have fit in.
This one. Yeah.
I feel like that original drawing, I think that would have sucked more. And actually, it looks like the spider is a little bit more. It's a little bigger and stylized. I think that's something else that's kind of thrown me. It's like it already looks like it's a little stylized. So just make the spider just a little bit bigger. Make the eyes just a little bigger. Like got to kind of push that cutesy thing on there.
Yeah, you could have been a bit bigger.
Yeah.
Gosh, how can you hate spiders when they look that cute?
Right. I never kill spiders. I'm just like, I'm you're gonna get rid of all the bugs, but I don't care.
Except cockroaches.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that are like, all right, well, they're not spiders. And I must say, did they draw this as well? Yeah.
No, that's part of the reference.
It's reference, yeah. No, great work. So, in terms of first and second place, Justin.
I think that's first place. It's just so much good details. There's so much. It's so clever. Like right now, I feel like this is at like 85%. I would love to see you kind of like take it, push it, and like really like push those like play around with like just the scaling of some of these things. Like some of the leaves on there are a little small, or like even the spider. Just like adjust it, have a little fun, and then right now you're kind of like, in my opinion, you feel like you're either realistic or stylized. It's like pick one and lean towards it, and then really kind of have adjust your mesh to kind of feel too. I feel like this will do good as a stylized one because it feels perfectly stylized.
Totally.
But yeah, I would increase the size of the spider, make the spider's eyes bigger, change the color of that, and then like maybe even take some of those like the composition's looking good. I might take the green leaves on the left and make them just a touch bigger.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, kind of go. But and even make some of those leaves on the right hand side, just maybe one in the middle, just a little bigger, because those 3 leaves on the right hand side are all the exact same size at their top.
Yeah, and I see that too. A bit of asymmetry. Symmetry there.
I just twist one, leave it a little bit bigger.
Yeah. What a potential there.
The mushrooms are a good job of being stacked in like different sizes, so that feels really good.
Yeah. The more I look at it, the more I see.
The face,
everything. Oh, great work. And then like second to this one.
Yeah.
So both.
It just needs to feel like it's got like that rope wrapped around it. It's got like extra materials, because right now it just feels like it's gently placed.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Cool. Well, I mean, have we caught up now, or have we still got a few more to look at?
I think we got them. Yeah.
Awesome.
When I was looking at those ones. Cool.
Amazing. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. If you have any more questions or about, anything we've said today, just pop a question into the Discord and we'll respond. All right.
Thank you. It's good to see you. Hope everything goes well in your pandemic.
Thank you. Oh, dear. See you later, guys.
Hang in there.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon.